This is Pilar Aymara speaking to Carl, one of the 500
That's right,
miles,
yes.
500-mile workers. Yesterday we tried to
Yes.
contact, but the connection wasn't really good. So
The
today
connection was very bad yesterday. That's right, yeah.
I was about to ask you what motivation you have to do this work.
Um, Several factors. Primarily, I've always been very much against any form of oppression from one country to another, interfering too much in its business. And I didn't feel that the union between, despite being born in London myself, I did not feel that the union, such as it is in Scotland's interest. And I see the potential of Scotland, but I see the detriment that is caused by being attached to the United Kingdom. So I was very keen for Scotland to have a proper chance, not this propaganda parade that was done in 2014 with the last formed choice about what was going on.
Uh-huh. Tell us about
That's why I wanted to take part.
Yes, tell us about your experience. How has been your experience during this work from poultry? Because you're a full worker.
It's great. It's relentless. There's no question about it. It's hard work. Um, the there's a lot of calibration of how you walk and how you deal with the various issues that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's the functioning within a team such as we have. I mean, the four core walkers, and then with the logistics team, you have to find a way of, because we're all older and we're all in our own ways established in our own lives, and of course we then have to find our way to find the dynamic, team dynamic, to make that work.
All right.
That's an additional element, but that's actually extremely, it's very satisfying, because once you start to see what the strengths are of the various members, and you feel certain connections to certain members, then the natural dynamic takes over, and you know automatically, oh, they need a little more help, or if you're struggling with something, they're the one that can deal with that aspect of it. And we've all sort of automatically found our rhythm within the group, and within that group, within the greater group.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really been one of the major things that I've taken from it. Everything else is just slight adjustment. You wear insoles in your shoes to try and protect you from this constant beating, but then you realize that your feet are going to swell, and that's when it rubs against the shoes. So you take out the insoles, and then there's nothing to protect you, and each time you're trying to find that deals with that problem, but not with that problem, and we compare ideas and compare notes, compare feet, and there's a lot of that going on, and it's a nice collective experience, and that's which I personally find is the journey we're doing on these 500 plus miles is almost a metaphor for the journey that Scotland will be doing and is doing. You've got lots of people from very different backgrounds, some pure Scots, some not.
Right.
And they're all finding their way and their dynamic, but for a common purpose. And in that common purpose, they then discover a mutual aspiration, and that in this case is the end of the 500 miles, but the 500 miles itself is only serving the purpose of independence anyway. So
Right.
so it's sort of wheels within wheels, and it's symbolic, and it's metaphoric, and it's allegoric, and that's what I'd say.
How is the reception in Dunblane today? Because you know my town is Dunblane. If you don't know, I tell you now.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
and in Stirling, how do you feel about the reception in Dunblane and Stirling
I mean,
particularly?
today was interesting because we knew we were entering a predominantly Tory environment,
Yeah.
and you're never quite sure how that's going to work. And of course, we've been to, this is now our 15th day, so we've had a lot of comparisons to other places, some more favourable than others, and I found that it was surprisingly positive.
Great.
There was a certain level of reservation from certain people, but there was an incredible openness with people you necessarily have expected. And I think under the circumstances of the present political climate and everything is, people are a little bit on edge about what we're doing. People are trying to either downplay it or they're praising to heaven. So it's put us in a very unusual and unique position, and that would often be the time where people would try to stay away from us because we're magnets for this. You know, we're like we attract a reasonable amount of attention considering everything that we're representing. And so for people to actually come out into the streets and shake hands and show us the thumbs and to ring their bells or to have photos taken with us or to listen to our opinion without any kind of that was it was a bit of a surprise, but it was extremely encouraging because if you take that as a representation of the sentiment in other parts of the country, it is only to our benefit if that continues until to the vote.
Yes, because you have to, Scotland and the people who are in favor of independence needs to convince more people. Are you convincing people with your work? Do you think so?
That's a tricky one. I mean,
Sorry.
The thing is, I definitely it's bringing attention to the cause.
Right.
We are only we are purely a method to get the story out there. We're not really the story as such. The whole purpose is independence. So it's tricky to say. We're certainly encouraging people to debate. We're certainly encouraging people to think about it, even if it's of an alternative point of view.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've been surprised by the amount of people that have said to us, "You have no idea what you're doing means to us," or I don't think you appreciate quite what a big deal this is. And to be honest, I probably don't. I don't think any of us do, because we see it as part of a bigger scheme, and we're just we're a necessary cog in a number of wheels that makes the whole thing turn around.
Right.
So I would say that definitely we have created an opportunity for dialogue that wouldn't otherwise have existed. Whether us walking from Skye to Edinburgh on the basis of that, people are going to change their mind? Probably not. But what we have done is we've brought a certain amount of attention to the cause, and we've brought, through that attention, it may bring certain people to reconsider or to think about it when they haven't actually. If they see that a small group of people, mostly somewhat more senior, can walk from Skye to Edinburgh for the purpose of independence, that shows a certain level of commitment and seriousness, because it's not a straightforward thing. But more than that, I think it's the issue that it creates the opportunity for people to be thinking about the cause in that duration. And they think if these people are taking it seriously, if we're keeping the story alive in that period, that is in itself, rather than the mileage on our feet, it's more what we're representing, and that's all it's about at the end of the day anyway, I think.
Well, what you're doing is indeed very important, because the debate is important in itself. You're now on your way to Glasgow.
We're in Dunblane. We're in Dunblane today,
Yeah.
but we got as far as Stirling. So tomorrow we're travelling to Stirling, and then we're travelling to then we're walking to Cumbernauld.
Cumbernauld. And after that is Glasgow.
Then from Cumbernauld to Glasgow. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Important.
Glasgow's where I live anyway.
That's good to know. Well, Karl, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, and I hope we can speak Spanish personally, okay?
Sí, por supuesto, sin duda.
Sin duda. I will see you in Linlithgow. I've been practicing my pronunciation now. Linlithgow. I'll be meeting you there. Okay, so on you go.
Yes.
And good luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this interview.